Hi fellow dreamers, in this video we're going to do a very special interview with someone. Now this particular individual is a woman who is also an immigrant. She's done a lot of wonderful things already, but she's going to share her journey with us. We remember that we can always learn from other people's experiences and we can always be inspired by their story. So give her a warm welcome, and if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Now remember, this is part one, okay? So in part two, we get into some of that dream talk and her beautiful spiritual experiences that I'm sure you'll also connect with. So I look forward to you all meeting her. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi fellow dreamers, I am so excited to present to you my wonderful sister Martha Garcia. She's going to be here to explore and share her wonderful journey with us. You've seen a little bit of what I posted on Instagram, but here she is to present a little bit about it. Martha, we've heard about your recent accomplishments with your graduation, your certification, but let us know more about this and what does this mean to you and for your family?
Okay, well, it's been a wonderful journey. I decided to go back to school in 2017. That was like the biggest step I have taken so far. I'm still a JCC student. I recently graduated with my associates in science, which
congratulations.
Thank you. And you know, a lot of things had happened, you know, just to get this far. You know, 2020 came along, and of course COVID just kind of took a toll on my family, my career. So I had to make a little bit of changes. When 2020 came, I was in the nursing program, which I thought it was my calling, which I thought it was my career, and it turned out that it's not what I really wanted. You know, it turned out that nursing, yes, I have done it for a long time, but it was time for a change. I did not see myself in the nursing field forever, and I decided to turn into the biopharmaceutical aspect, and I love it. I am intrigued. I'm enjoying going to classes, learning about the lab, learning about all the procedures, learning about what goes beyond, you know, the closed doors before we get any pharmaceutical medication. You know, it's on the other side of the spectrum. It's not actually taking care of people, but it's actually in the back, watching how the process goes.
And how did you make that shift though? Because you've been in nursing for such a long time, and that's where essentially you started your career, and you've done that for so many years. So how did you actually make that transition or decide to change it?
Well, I've been a nursing assistant for a long time. When I was in high school, I took the CNA class thanks to a friend of mine, Marjorie, which
Marjorie,
she's so yes. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what it was. She was like, "Oh, just go with me, health occupations class, just join me." It was one of those things that I just said, "You know what? Okay, I'll do it," without knowing. You know, and that's one of the moments that I'm like, okay, this person was put in this place for me to follow.
Yes.
And so I signed up for the class, and I got my nursing assistant. So that's where the journey all began. You know, I love the elderly. I enjoy working with them, with the families. I have learned so much from them. So it was very tough to change careers. You know, once you have that connection with your patients, and you love what you do, and they make you happy, and you learn so much from them. You know, you see how they used to be when they were younger, and all their stories, and how they are now. And you know, all those little moments that I cherish, that's what I miss about the nursing field. But you know, thinking about changing a career, it was very hard, because I thought that was all I knew how to do. Doing it for so long, it was kind of like I was in a little bubble. This is what I have to do, this is what I know how to do, and that's it, even though I love doing it. You know, but once I actually looked outside the bubble, I was like, you know what, I think it's time for a change. You know, when I started reading about the pharmaceutical careers and what JCC offered, I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Like, I could see myself do that.
Wow.
So I had to make that decision. You know, it was really tough, but it was time. It was well needed.
And how do you do that though? Because I'm certain we have quite a few viewers that maybe have that desire within of either changing a career or writing a book or doing something amazing, but they don't know how to change. They don't know how to go about it. How did you actually do that?
It was pretty much looking at my whole life. You have to sit down and evaluate. You have to sit down and say, okay, this is what I've been doing for so long, and this is what I love about it. But now I'm older, I'm wiser, you know, is this really what I really want to continue doing? You know, and being in school for so long for nursing, yeah, I spend a lot of money and time. And then you kind of have to balance it out. You have to really think about it. Do I really love this? Is it really worth my time? Do I see myself do this in the future? You have to ask yourself all these questions. You know, how is it going to, you know, benefit not only, you know, your family, but yourself? You know, is it going to give you some kind of satisfaction? Is it going to like make you grow, learn things, you know, meet new people? I mean, you have to balance it out. And honestly, whenever you make that change, it is okay to make that change. You know, you have to have the power to say, you know, it's time for a change. You have to get excited about it. You know, if you just sit back and be like, oh, I'm going to make a change. Okay, no, you have to actually see, like, oh my God, how cool is this? Oh, I could be doing this. You know, like right now, I'm taking the beginner biopharmaceutical class, you know, and yes, I am in the 2-year program, which I will finish soon, which I'm very excited about. But now it's just learning. It's a learning process. I love learning new things. You know, I'd rather learn a lot of little things than learn a lot about one thing. You know what? And I learned that over the years. So you know, just going to school, doing my labs. I love the lab. See, when you talk about something and it brings smiles to your face, it sparks. That spark has to be there. You know, and it is okay to make a change. You know, it is not good to be miserable and be doing something you hate to do. So, you know, people, you know, open your eyes, open your heart, and just make that change. You know, it's going to take time and it's going to be hard, because it is. But in the long run, oh, it's going to bring you so much happiness, so much satisfaction, and so many benefits.
And it sounds like from what you're describing, it's like following that excitement, following that passion, and really trusting it. Like trusting that I'm making the right decision because I'm following this thing that I love, this passion that I have within. Did you always have that trust in yourself, or is that something you had to build up?
Trust in myself is a building process. You know, trust in the spark, always.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. Even when I was younger,
even
when I was younger in high school, you know, you're a teen, you do all this random stuff, whether it's correct or not at the time, but I did it. I have always done what I wanted because I felt like I should, and I can. You know, and whether it was for the right reasons or wrong reasons, but I did it. And that spark was always there. You know, if I felt, it's like a feeling, you know, it's like a gut feeling. You know, when you have that feeling, you go and do it. You don't second question it. You know, and I have always done that. You know, like, you know, getting married, same thing. The question popped up. I was like, you know what? I had the spark. I felt it. I said, I'm down. Same thing with school. Okay, this feels right. It feels great. Okay, let's do it. You know, and you know, a lot of people don't give themselves the chance to feel that. You know, a lot of the times they question themselves so much that they avoid the feeling. And the feeling, you have to feel it. I'm a feely, touchy person. You know, and if the feeling's there, you got to go with it. You got to follow it, because it will guide you to the right path, and you will meet so many wonderful people that are going to feel the same feeling, and the connection's going to be there, and it's like they're going to guide you. They're going to guide you to the right path, and everything's going to be fine. But you just have to take that one little leap, and then that will be it.
I love that. And it sounds like it's that really inner trust for yourself, because if the spark is there and you know it's there, but you don't listen to it, then we don't do anything. We don't share that wonderful gift with the world. It's a matter of actually listening to it and then taking action, which sounds like it's exactly what you're doing.
Yes, it is.
So when it comes to following that spark and everything, have people always been in agreement with the things that you're doing, or is it something that you're like, you know what, I know I want to do this regardless of what other people around me think? And the reason that we want to ask that is because some of our viewers, oftentimes they have that desire to do something, but they worry so much about what other people are going to think or say. What is something that you can tell those viewers?
Well, okay, I've been in both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, being a mom, you have to think about, well, I always think about my girls first and my husband, and I'm always the last person. It has been like that for years, since I can remember. But you know what, there's that day I remember that day so clearly, that I told myself, this is it. You know, I'm going to do it for me, and it really doesn't matter what everybody else thinks or says. You know, I have to take that chance, and I did it. You know, so people need to understand that yes, it's okay to not please other people, but to care about other people. But you need to put yourself first. You need to work on yourself. Once you work on yourself, you're going to give so much to others, because if you're worried about pleasing everybody else, you're neglecting yourself. Yeah. You're worrying about, oh my gosh, she needs this, he needs that, and you're left empty. Like you're left empty. You're gonna have like nothing else to give. You're gonna be like a little robot, just doing day by day, which I've been there.
Yeah.
Until that day comes, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna break out. That is it, because there's a day that you need to be free with yourself. And you need to make those choices and put yourself first. Once you do that, you're going to love yourself. You're going to wake up this in the morning, and even if you look not presentable, you're going to be like, oh my God, I look so beautiful. Yeah. I was like, this is such a beautiful day. This is what I'm going to do today. Like, you're going to have a plan. You're going to feel so good about it because you're going to do you. And then at the same time, you're going to give so much to everybody else, and you're going to make them happy. You don't even have to worry about it. Like right now, I don't worry about it anymore. I have my routine. I go to school, do my homework. I still take care of the kids, still, cook dinner, take care of my husband, do little things. But it's not to the extent. And I don't feel that pressure like I used to when I used to put them first. So now I kind of put myself first, and then they're kind of second. And it's fine. They're not missing out on anything.
Right.
So, once you do you first, you can give so much more to other people.
And when you decided to put yourself first, was that something that was easy for you to stick to, or was that something that you had to kind of remind yourself, me first, me first, me first?
Oh, yeah, it's a reminder.
Yeah, is it?
It's a reminder.
Good to know.
It is, because, some days I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. But then I look at my schedule and I'm like, oh, God, my daughter has this appointment, and then I have this other thing I got to do, and this thing, and then you have to be like, okay, you know what? Yes, I do have that to do, but right now it's me. Like, you have to do something for yourself. Even if you give yourself 5 minutes in the morning, if you have a crazy day, even if you go outside and meditate, or if you have a moment to yourself, if you do exercise, anything that's going to give you that personal joy, saying, yes, I did something for me today. Now let me do something else for others.
That's a win right there.
That is a win. Yeah, that is a win-win, and but yes, I remind myself every single day, because I looked at the girls and I'm like, okay, they're older, they can do their laundry, they can put their clothes away. I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, like, you just have to make them responsible. Oh my God, that's a big thing. Make your kids responsible at a young age. You have to teach them, you have to guide them. Don't do everything for them. I was guilty, but now it's like, okay, they can do it.
It's so interesting, because even though you're studying all these different things and graduating and getting certifications for all these amazing things, you're still growing so much as a mother. And you're growing so much as an individual and as a woman. So with all of this growth that you're doing, what do you see in store for yourself next after this? After you get this certification you're waiting for, what is that next dream that you have?
Oh my God, I have so many, because this is just one. Okay, this is the thing with me. I believe that I'm here to do so many things. Like, okay, right now, yes, I got my associates in science. I did it. Good for me. Now, my second step, okay, get my other certification. Yes, I want to work in the lab. Okay, that's going to happen, because I see myself doing it. After that happens, who knows? Because what happens with me is that once I accomplish something, I meet new people. You get little sparks here and there. You get new ideas, new projects, volunteering, or whatsoever, and then your path might change to a whole different place. Like right now, I'm so concentrated. Like, I want to work in the lab. I love microbes. I love bacteria. I love growing all that stuff. I'm just a nerd with it.
Wow.
I love it. But once I'm there, okay, I might meet someone. I might not be in the lab for long. I might go to an office job. I might travel somewhere. I might change my career a little bit, tweak it up. So who knows? For me, it's not like, okay, that's what I'm going to do forever. No, because I'm still young.
Yes,
still young.
Yes,
I have a long way to go.
Yes.
And I just want to explore. I want to explore. I'm not a person that stays in a job forever. And that's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because I know people that stay in the same job for 25 years, 30 years. Like, honestly, I can't even lie to myself. I cannot do
That's
it.
Not you.
That's
okay.
not me. And it's okay, you know.
Yes.
But if I do something, I want to do it 110%, and I give it my all. But once I give it my all and something else comes along and I'm like, oh, the spark's not here but it's moving here, I'm following it.
I love that.
So
oh my gosh, I love that,
knows?
Martha. I was telling her this earlier before we even started this. I can see her sharing a book in the future, because you say so many things that to me, I'm like, that's a quote right there. That's a quote. Like, that's Martha's quote. Yeah. You said that you follow that spark. Wherever that goes, you follow that spark. To me, that's like your quote, because it sounds like that's what you've been doing throughout your life. You know, ever since you started in high school, you're like, yeah, that sounds exciting. There's that spark. Oh, there's an opportunity to apply here. There's my spark. And you just keep following it, which is also amazing, because it doesn't lock you into one thing. As a person, with your career, with anything, you're open to exploring everything. And I think that's something we can all benefit from, because we've all been in a place where we're like, okay, this is all that I know how to do, and I'm going to stick here, and I'm not going to go outside of this box. But Martha's helping us see that if we follow that spark, there's going to be more amazing things to explore, and we don't have to be blocked into a box.
Oh yes, and it's amazing. Like, if you're somewhere and there's like a bulletin board that they need volunteers, or if they need somebody to just donate some supplies, or you see somebody that needs help, I mean, why not do it? I mean, you know, it's like, for me, look, since I get into everything. Like, if I'm somewhere and they need volunteers, here I am. What do you need me to do? Like, you know, if somebody needs some help, okay, how can I help? You know, always take that step. You know, once you take that step, it's going to be natural to you. You know, like, I have been in JCC for a lot of years now, and I love it. You know, that's how I got inducted into all those honor societies, you know, because I reached that goal, and I'm like, oh, wow, let's apply. Oh, that's my next goal. Okay, you reached it, move on. You know, volunteer work, go to your meetings. I mean, just get out there. You have to get out there. People need to see you. People need to know you. You know, you're always going to be helping, and you're going to be teaching people new things, and you're going to be learning too. And it's just fun. It is fun to get out of your comfort zone. It is fun to, you know, go out and explore what's out there, because if you don't explore, you're never going to know. And it's always going to be something hidden, and you're like, oh, I could have done that. Or when you see someone in a bulletin board, or if you see someone in the street, you're like, oh, I wish I could be that person, or I wish I could do that. Well, you know what? You can. That is the thing. I keep telling my girls, don't ever set yourself short. If you see somebody, or if you want to do something, do it. There's nothing that's going to stop you by yourself. You know what? Yourself is the only limit, you know, that's going to, you know, stop you from getting somewhere. Nothing else can. Nothing else.
I feel that that's really true, because I think we've all seen it in our own lives too, where we're trying to do something, and literally our mind is like creepy. It starts going, oh, are you sure you can do this? Oh, maybe you're not smart enough. That kind of insecurity monster is what I call it sometimes. But once you're like, you know what, this thing can go away, because this isn't my loving self. Once you connect with that loving self, like what you're explaining, everything is possible. Everything is doable. And now I know you've done so many accomplishments, Martha, with JCC and with her certifications. But something I know our viewers want to know is they want to know more about Martha before this. Martha before the accomplishments. So let us know a little bit of how that was for you, maybe before you even got into school. How was your life like before then?
Well, before then, it wasn't as exciting, like personally, I guess you can say. Of course, you know, I'm married. I have a wonderful husband. I have 3 girls, and they kept me busy, you know. So pretty much my routine was, you know, being a housewife, you know, taking care of the kids, and that was kind of it. You know, I did work as a nursing assistant, you know, part-time or full-time, so I had to juggle both. I was semi-happy, I guess you can say. I wasn't completely happy like I am now. So it does take a toll, not only on yourself, but like on your family. Like, I think our family was kind of gloomy. You know, we were not as connected as we are now. Because it makes a lot of difference, you know, when your spouse decides to go back to school or to accomplish something, your spouse is going to be happy and glowing. When if your husband stays in doing the same thing and doesn't improve anything, then that affects the family. You know, same thing, if I didn't improve, that's going to affect the whole family dynamic. So, you know, there's a time that I was like looking at my girls grow up, and I was looking at myself, and I'm like, well, you know what, time is flying by. I said, you know, I can do more than just being home, taking care of the family and working. I said, so that's it. you know, I made my decision. I said, I have to go back to school. I have to improve myself, continue my education, learn new things. And, you know, it's going to benefit my family. It was very rough at the beginning. First, I didn't know if I was going to get accepted because it's been so long. You know, graduated in 2000. If you count the years, that's a long time without opening a book. Even though during that time I did take like a little bit, you know, courses online or whatever, you know, but it's not the same thing when you're fully in. You're like, oh man, I'm actually in. Like I actually did it. So it makes a lot of difference, you know, not only for your kids to see that you're accomplishing and doing things, but actually juggling everything. You know, that teaches them that they can do it too. So that's like one of the main things why I decided to go back to school, to struggle, because it's a daily struggle, you know, with your schedules, with homework, with the family and everything else. But if you juggle it correctly, it's really good. It gives you satisfaction every day. It teaches your kids of, you know, maintaining a schedule, being responsible, you know, a whole lot of stuff. But personally for me, I don't think my family would be as happy and tight and cozy like it is now. You know,
if you didn't go to school.
If I didn't go back to school, because I would be doing the same thing. I would have the same job. I would be doing the same routine. There would be like no change.
You wouldn't be happy.
I wouldn't be happy. Like I wouldn't be like glowy and bubbly sometimes. You know, it would be the same routine. So, you know, making that big change, it changed the way I see things, the way I see my girls, the way I see my family, the way I see myself. You know, once I went back to school, my self-esteem went skyrocket high. You know, my first day of class was really nervous. I was nervous. You know, I was like the oldest one in the classroom. All the kids were like my daughter's age. I was like, oh my God. So I was like, okay, I got to keep up because these kids are smart. I mean, they're so tech savvy, and I was kind of slow back then. I was like, oh, I got to keep up. So, you know, it's just learning from other people, not only older people, but younger people. I mean, you learn from everybody. And, you know, you just have to do it. Sometimes you don't even have to think about it. If it's there, just do it and it's going to be fine. Don't overthink. You know, when you overthink things, then you doubt yourself and then you go back.
Yes,
so
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? So
you
can't do that. You know, once you decide to do something, just go ahead and do it and you're going to move forward. You know, that little person over here, just say goodbye.
See you later.
See you later. And move on.
I love that. So once the spark is there, we see the spark, we feel the spark, just go into the spark. Don't overthink.
Don't overthink it.
We
Don't
hear
overthink
it, we feel it.
You know, whether it's going on a roller coaster, oh my gosh, same thing. It's like the spark's there, I'm scared, but you know what? Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
It's one of those moments. It could be any decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I like the spark talk. Now, okay, we touched on this a little before we had our little virtual incident here. Yes, but I think it's so important for our dreamers to connect with Martha before even all of this. Because if you've noticed, we've been walking backwards, right? We started with her accomplishments at JCC. We talked a little bit about her high school life and her family life. And now we want to go really far back. And I think we want to hear more about your immigration story, Martha, because we have so many viewers that are currently dreamers, that some have DACA, some don't have anything, some are still immigrants. And our viewers also know that we very much like to connect with the sidewalk school in Matamoros, Mexico, which are those children that are studying literally on the sidewalk. And I know that they would benefit from hearing your story, especially about immigration and how that was for you. So go ahead, take it away. Let us know a little bit about that.
Well, my immigration story, it's very personal and very special. I remember when I was in Mexico going to school, you know, I remember wearing my uniform, wearing those funky shoes that you needed to wear back then, those high stockings and stuff. So I experienced that in Mexico. It was wonderful. I love school since I was little. It was just one of my excitements of the day. You know, when my mother decided to, you know, come to the United States, it was a culture shock for me to a point, because not only are the schools different, but the journey just getting here, it's so different. You know, I remember Mexico. I remember the streets. I remember the houses. I remember the smells. And I remember, you know, my grandma, my grandpa, and my aunt, and that family bond was there. you know, with that side of the family at that time. And I remember saying goodbye, and it didn't really hit me as goodbye because I was little. I mean, I did say goodbye, but I didn't think it was going to be like forever goodbye. So, you know, my mother got us ready that morning, and we got on the bus. I remember that I don't know why she did that. I had a skirt on, and I'm like, okay, we're traveling so long. Why would you put a skirt on?
No.
I don't know why that is. I was mad but until now. But anyway, so we were all in the bus, and we were there for hours, you know, until almost getting to the border. And then I remember, you know, getting in that hot car, you know, crossing Arizona desert, and it was, oh God, I just see my mom, and then I see my mom carrying my little brother, then I see my sister, my brother, and we're just sweating. I mean, we literally look like chickens, like wet chicks, just like drenched. And it was the longest drive. I didn't even know what to think. You know, now that I think back, I'm like, I was just sitting there. Like, because, you know, when you do this type of like decisions in your life that are so drastic at that moment, it doesn't hit you. It's kind of surreal that you're actually there doing it. And then until after, you're just like, oh my God, I literally just crossed the desert. Like we were in a car for hours crossing.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I remember that we didn't really have a lot of water. I remember, you know, my brother, which was a baby, he was sweating. I mean, he was dehydrated. I remember that, you know, he couldn't even close his eyes all the way when he was sleeping. Like,
oh
you know,
gosh,
little moments like
scary.
that. Yeah, it was scary, you know, when I thought about the whole travel aspect afterwards. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my God, you know what, when you're little, you're so innocent.
Yeah.
You kind of just go and follow. You know, but even that, you know, our journey was not terrible. It was not terrible. I have heard horror stories, so we're blessed. You know, we've been blessed since we left my grandma's house until now. Just thinking about all the sacrifices my mom made and that choice of her leaving. Now that I'm a mom, I'm like, how did she do that? Like, that's surreal to me, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful that she did. You know, she's a strong woman, and you know, she raised strong kids. And I'm so proud of her. You know, I mean, she's like my role model, and I have told her that before. My dad, he's always been hardworking. You know, working 7 days a week. I remember. You know, sometimes in his lunch break, we used to go to the laundromat and do our laundry. I mean, it's just so many beautiful stories. You know, of just growing up. You know that. It probably would have been different if we stayed in Mexico. You know, who knows what would have happened. But thanks to both of them bringing us over here, even risking, you know, everything, it has given us a new life. It has given us this. It has given us everything, you know. So I'm very thankful for that. You know, and I tell my girls, you know, once in a while, I really have not ever sat down with them and really talked about the story. Because, you know, we never really had the chance, or I never really wanted to, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But it's so important, you know, now that, you know, my oldest one is going to college, I think it's so important for her to know. And I think she's knowing now that, where we're from, you know, what struggles, what we've been through just to get where we're at. You know, just coming to the United States and, you know, having all these wonderful people either donate clothing or food, you know, to help us out. You know, even our parents, you know, give us the best childhood. You know, we even if we had everything from the thrift store that we used to love to go, even if we went, we used to call it basurear. When we used to go in that huge van and we used to go to the rich people's houses and we used to just pick up their trash, which was really good trash, by the way. I mean, that was our outings, you know, and I just want people to know that, you know, you don't have to have money to make your kids happy. You don't have to work your ass off forever to give them what they need. I mean, you just give them the basics, give them your time, give them your love. That's what matters.
We can all take a lot of tidbits from what she has just said, you guys. This is so fabulous. And you know, you've probably seen us get a little emotional during this talk. We haven't really heard each other's immigration stories, if you can believe that. It's been such a pleasure for me, Martha and Sis, to hear your perspective, because I was so little, I don't remember those moments. But you've given me another way to look at it too, and to find even new appreciation with it. So thank you very much for sharing all that with us.
Thank you.
I feel that this is going to be an opportunity. I'm not sure where this is going to lead, but I feel that this isn't the last time you're going to be here.
Okay, I hope not. I will be happy to come anytime. Any questions, I will answer them.
Thank you, Sis.
Yep.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions for Martha, put them down in the comments. But we both send you a huge hug. We send you love, unity, and peace. And we will see you soon. Bye. Everybody.